on Roaccutane, what my skin was like before, during and now after. I was put on Roaccutane about a year ago now, maybe longer, and my skin was terrible. I'd already tried topical creams, I tried antibiotics, I tried the pill for hormonal spots, and nothing seemed to work at all. Like, it went from just having normal spots around here, the T-zone area, to having full-on acne on both cheeks and chin area, and this made everything really hard for me. And I would have days where I'd come home and literally cry. There's little girls that live down my road who I kind of look after, and I wouldn't even open the door if I didn't have makeup on because I was scared what they'd think of me, and they're like 5. And I think that's when I realised that I needed to do something about it because it was just too much for me. And when you have acne, you feel like you're the only one, and all my friends at the time had no spots. I had got spots since year 5. As soon as I went into year 6, I had my period. So I developed a lot younger than most girls who normally typically get their period in year 8, say. So that made everything a lot harder because I was experiencing stuff that other kids hadn't at that time, and I think the hormone imbalance of what I actually had was crazy. So that's where I was, because it just made I was depressed. I can say that I had anxiety. I would have panic attacks. I would sit on the computer for hours just researching just crap about how you can get rid of a massive spot. These weren't like little spots that most people get and they just like come to a head. These were like under the skin, about 5 of them clustered together, and it was a lot for someone who does take pride in their appearance and is normally a confident person who just always was happy, and this was a complete turnaround for me. And I can't actually, I really do think that Roaccutane changed me and my skin, because even though, I'll show you, even though I'm left on my cheeks with scarring and kind of redness, I don't care. I was going to get that anyway, and even though Roaccutane does bring out more spots, I kind of was thinking at the time, if it's bringing them out, they're there already. If it's coming out, it's pushing all of that build up that could happen over, say, a month or 2 months in like a few weeks, is pushing all that crap out. So I was kind of thinking positive while on it, not like down. The side effects were bad, but they were, you could cope with them because you already had to cope with acne. So for me, I was used to extreme changes in my skin, going from dry spots, cracking, to having oils where you can literally wipe off all the shit. And I just think that if you do go on it, it is hard, and you're not allowed in the sun, so it's a bit hard in the summer, but you know, but it's only for a short amount of time. Like, they said to me, you have 5 months to clear your skin, and that, although it sounds scary, you're going to live them 5 months regardless. So I just think that it was worth it just to try. It was my last resort, and it worked for me. So it's worked for many other people as well, so it's not just me. But at the end of the day, it does work. I don't know if it will for you, but most people it does. And if you're how I was now, then I would really, really recommend going on it, even though it was hard and you might be scared. I remember taking my first tablet and sitting there and thinking, what's going to happen? Like, it was a scary time for me because I never looked at a pill and thought this could change my life. Whereas with this, I did. And I knew that when I took it, even my mum was nervous for me. And it sounds so strange, but she knew how low I was. And I think most people did, but I try and hide that anyway because I act confident quite a lot with people, so they don't really see when I'm sad or when I don't feel too good or when I'm not confident. And like, my family do see through that when I'm putting it on. And I think that it really did, it has had an impact on me, because now I can go out without makeup. Like, I will go to school and I'll just go there like, yeah, this is me. I'm at school at the end of the day. And before, I used to try and compensate for my bad skin, so I knew that my skin was shit. I knew it. People still said it to me. Don't you think that if I have it on my face that I know it's there? But, you know, they're going to say it, so I tried making myself look better than other people were because I was feeling so shit about my skin. So I would go extreme on trying to style my hair. I'd be up at 6:30 in the morning trying to put ringlets in my hair to make it look good. I would go and buy new clothes every weekend just to feel like I was wearing something different, something new. I would get my nails done. Like, even now I have my nails done, but it was something that I had to do. And I know, and that was even before I went on Roaccutane. That during it I kind of did think, let myself go, not bother anymore, because your hair like dries out to an extreme. Like, I didn't have to wash my hair for like 9 days. Like, that was the maximum time I waited, and even then it wasn't greasy. It was still there, but I just couldn't face another day because I was like, this is disgusting, not washing my hair for 9 days. So I could have gone longer, but yeah, so it definitely does dry you out. I remember my lips coming up like blisters, like cold sores over my whole lips. That it was terrible. If I have pictures, I'll insert them. It was bad, and now when I look at my skin, I feel confident. It feels like skin. I can rub my cheeks, and everyone who says don't touch your face when you've got spots because of the bacteria on your hands, don't pick your spots, don't all this, don't do this, don't do that, doesn't have an impact on me now. After having spots so much and being so clean, and I spent hundreds on creams. I bought the Clinique set, I bought everything for the blemish thing, I bought tea tree. Anything that you've heard that's a really good thing for acne never worked for me, it made it worse. So yeah, I admit that I did pick my spots, and maybe that wasn't the best thing because it has left me with scars, but because of how extreme the spots were, there were going to be scars there anyway. And even when I had acne and the spots would go down, there'd still be scars, even if I didn't pick them. So I would say, if you want to pick your spot, because it's better than walking around with a pus lump on your skin. But some spots you do have to leave, like the ones I got on my cheek, there were bigger lumps, like this big. If I had to pinch that, that'd be like a whole spot area, and you can't get rid of them. I would say the more you do, the more it's going to aggravate it. You have to cut everything down to basics, and it sounds really stupid at the end of the day when there's all these spot treatments saying, oh, this stops redness, this clears your skin, this is antibacterial, this is all da da da. That's all part of what they're trying to sell you. At the end of the day, did you use that when you're a kid? I know your body changes, I know that your hormones and imbalances, and they say, oh, it will help that. But putting topical creams on the internal hormones isn't going to have an impact, because that's just stopping or trying to stop what's already happened. So the main issue is within the body, what it's producing to make you have this acne. And it frustrates me that people think that acne is a like it is its own thing, where actually it's a side effect of something else within you. It's not just, oh, I've got acne, it's like this. There must be a cause for it, and that's why it's so hard to treat, I guess, because people have acne for different reasons. Some people have hormonal imbalances where they have to equal out their hormones. Some people overproduce an oil. Some aren't clean and need to properly wash. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's different for everyone. I still don't really know what my reason was behind it. I know that Roaccutane helps stop produce the sebum in your skin to produce the oils, and it helps new ones not come up. So yeah, that's kind of the theory behind that. So that worked for me. I was meant to be put on it for 5 months, but that changed after, I think, the 3rd month, when I had my blood test results back, and they said that the fat lipids in my blood, which is like the sugar and the amount of sugar you've got in your blood, was too high, that it was meant to be something like, I think it was like 2.4, and mine was like 6.2. So there's a lot of problems that come from that. Like, if it's that high, you're at risk of having your heart stop, heart failure. It's just really, really extreme problems. So they took me off of it for a month, and yeah, I admit I did cry. I did get upset that I was taken off, because I didn't think that I'd be put on, because most people are put on it once and that's it. You don't really hear of cases going on at like a second time, or the max is second time. And I thank my dermatologist so much for this, because he understood me, I think, like really well, and he just got me. So I went back to him and had another consultation about my skin, because when I came off, my skin hadn't actually cleared. It had dried out the 1st month, the 2nd month it broke out, and then it just started to clear up on the 3rd month. And I just felt like, if he doesn't put me back on it, there's no way I'm ever going to clear it now. But straight away he said, we'll test to make sure that your levels are all okay again, we'll put you on a lower dosage, and yeah, you have to go back on it for another 5 months. So in total, the second time was easier for me, because I had already had the main worst part as the side effects go in the first time I had it, like went on it. Second time, it was still hard, but I was able to cope with it. But I was on that for the full 5 months. So in total, I was on it about 8 months, maybe a bit longer, I'm not really too sure. And I stopped taking it on the Easter holidays. So it stays in your system for about 2 months after, but it can be in your system for a year after. So it's all depends on your body. I know that when I stopped taking it, I thought that my acne would come back, which did scare me, because I was like, I've gone through all of this to still have acne, but I've never had acne back.